An alliance of elves, dwarves, and men have come together to rid UMBAR of the scourge, and they are preparing themselves with over 8,000 soldiers to do so. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish, and welcome back to an epic online battle from Total War Rise of Mordor. We are diving in with this absolutely pretty amazing custom map that we do have of UMBAR. Definitely one of the larger settlements that we do have access to, and it's going to make for a pretty goddamn exciting battle. Not only do we have this assault going on along the main wall, we also have this beach landing that's going to be pushed up and taking a large part of the settlement. If you guys want to take a look at the overall kind of view of the settlement, this is it in its entirety. You have kind of this outer wall, then you have this inner wall right here, as well as this outer island that it has two land bridges connected to it, moving into this kind of inner position right here. The attackers will have to go pretty hard on if they want to go ahead and succeed. Not only are they going to need to obviously get through that inner wall, but they're also going to have to start fighting their way up through these pretty dense choke points, obviously under heavy missile fire. And then over on this side as well, there are plenty of positions where the attackers can get ambushed as they make their way up this little route right here. Obviously either side could have waiting soldiers ready to assault them. So on the attacking side, as I did say, it was an alliance of men, dwarves, and elves. We have over here the forces of Dale with some of their amazing looking top tier infantry right there. We also have the elves and the dwarves. The dwarves are here with their brand new armor. Obviously, in the most recent update, they got a big overhaul, and they look absolutely spectacular as always. They also went ahead and actually added in a new dwarven model as well. I think maybe even a couple more dwarven models so that they're a lot more stocky, which I think obviously looks really good as well. Obviously, behind them, we do have the elves. So these are going to be the Inladris elves, right? Yeah, these are the Lindor elves, yeah. Or maybe they're Inladris. Yeah, these are the Inladris elves, so these are kind of the Rivendell elves right here. Again, looking really nice indeed. And I can't wait to see the elves get more updates in future. So we've got Dale, dwarves, obviously, and you can't have an alliance if you don't have Gondor. So Gondor are going to be mixing out the final fourth person on that attacking side. And as you can see, they have now managed to actually make their way inside the settlement. It doesn't seem like the defenders are really planning on defending this outer wall whatsoever. Going to be kind of setting up a nice little street defense. There are plenty of positions though for them to attack, so we'll have to see how that goes up against it. And then going up against them, we just have three forces from the Easterlings. There's not a Harad player in sight. But yeah, we just have basically three Easterlings. The Haradrim don't really have much in the way of units at the moment, I don't think so. That's why you don't really see too many people play them. That's why we're seeing the Eastlings defend a Harad settlement, is because of that. But hopefully in the future, you know, the rate at which the team are working will be hopefully be getting plenty more model updates for a lot more factions. And you can see the flag is being risen up as they... is this a gatehouse or is this just... Yeah, this is the gatehouse, right? Yeah, we're just going to be taking this gatehouse, which is actually ram-packed with defenses right now, which is kind of funny. More cavalry being brought inside the settlement as well, seeing if they can kind of open up any position. Oh, Miss Cavalry might try and rush through. The halberds might not be able to get there in time. It does seem like a pretty ballsy move here from Medallion cavalry regiments. They try and get their way in here. I mean, I don't think this is a good idea whatsoever, because they're going to get pinned down some way or another. Whether it's the halberds, the axes, the cavalry going to come in and stop them. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting move to see if you could try and sneak a cavalry through. But now that's just pretty much completely lost now, because there's just so much back here just flying in on the cavalry regiments. And as you can see, they are not going to be faring well against, you know, halberds, axes, and other cavalrymen. We also are getting more soldiers being brought up here to obviously stem any reinforcements. And it does seem like the dwarves are going to be getting their hands bloody first. These are the lower tier Dwarven Infantry. I think these are just like the basic Dwarven swordsmen, so nothing too crazy. And they are up against one of the more sturdier standard infantry in the Loke Rim from the Easterlings with their maces. They're great armor piercing. A real solid unit. I would take 10 of them over 1,000 from the Iron Hills. But I'm sure the dwarves will be packing a lot of shock infantry. And also one of the amazing things as well up here is you do have these archer positions as well, as the archers are just kind of picking away. I always love the way that the archers do in Attila, kind of hide behind the cover. It really gave some life to these soldiers on the walls. I really wish Creative Assembly did do a bit more in the way of things like this, because it does look so goddamn cool when you have the archers doing such things. And there's actually a unit of Bardings down there. That's an extremely expensive unit for the Easterlings, so killing them is probably a #1 priority. Obviously, they don't even have shields either, so yeah, really trying to focus them down would not be a bad idea whatsoever. It doesn't seem like these guys are volleying off anything in particular though, so nothing in the way of heavy missile fire unfortunately coming out their way. You can see as well the Bardings are going to be taking the other wall across the ways as well. They will be returning fire. So I'm just trying to get a good angle of it, but it doesn't seem like I can get them all in vision. And yeah, the arrow fire is going to be coming in. Luckily, though, these Eastlings up on this wall do have that kind of, obviously the stone protection of the wall helping them out. Lots of soldiers now moving down here as well. We do actually have some of the Vineland infantry here as well. The Vineland Guard. This is an extremely high tier unit. 46 melee attack right here on that unit, which is pretty insane. Supported up by the Dalian Spearmen as well. Artillery raging in as well. Maybe trying to soften up, get a good hit on the Loco Macemen. That's not going to be the case though. More of the Dalian cavalry, infantry, and archers all moving inside of the settlement. Over on the other side of things, we are getting some of these Elven Noldrin swords. Unfortunately, the Elves don't get any sword and shield infantry, so they're going to be prime targets for this archer fire. And you can already see 3 of the Elves have dropped. And as well as that, the Elves are very much lower on numbers than everybody else. You see there's only 85 of them in that unit compared to, Force of Gondor with 170 in these warrior axemen units. So you can definitely see the quality difference. And you can also see that they are heavily going on this flank. Look at the amount of soldiers that have been poured in here. The artillery is counter-firing, actually getting an amazing hit right there on the assault, right on top of the Gondor swords. But this is just the bread and butter for Gondor. They are going up against one of the tankier units in the Eastling roster. This is going to be the Clan's Guard. They're a great shield unit. 46 melee defense, 80 armor. That's pretty goddamn good. As you can see, the Gondor swords just have the sheer numbers. You can see they are making their way through every crevice in this defensive line. Really, really impressive stuff right now. They're able to kind of abuse that, get their swords round the side. The archer fire going in as well. These lancers, oh my god, how many bowmen are here? There's just what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, there's 6 units of Gondor archers here. All of them shooting, but able to really rack up some kills as the artillery comes flying in. Where is the artillery based? All the way up here. God damn, that looks pretty cool. I always love these kind of deeping artillery positions back here, able to really push off and hit the enemy positions. It was always just so goddamn cool. And I really wish, again, Creative Assembly added in like artillery and placements where you can actually deploy your artillery. That'd be so goddamn cool. But anyway, over on this side, yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a position that's going to be overrun fairly quickly. With Gondor swords getting around the back, that is not great. Luckily, these Vargo warriors have got stuck in. They are being hit in the side by a lot of Gondorian archer fire. And right now, I really do fear for this defensive position. You can see the forces just fighting. We have over 16,000 men on this battlefield as well, I believe, or at least close to it. We have, what, 8,200 attackers and 7,600 defenders. Just under 16,000 men. That's pretty goddamn good. And, the game is running pretty well as well. Obviously, when we do zoom in, things get a little bit hectic, but over here as well, we do have the Lake Town Guard as well. The Lake Town Guard are a very interesting unit. They're like a very fast-moving halberd unit. But they're not really like performing like proper halberds. I don't know. They're really kind of like in-between unit. Instead of their kind of like heavy-hitting power, which the halberds have, they kind of don't really have that, but they have a lot more speed. As well as that, you can see the Vinland Guard as well. Vineland Guard, sorry. Too much Vinland Saga. The Vineland Guard pushing in as well. 29 kills. They've lost, what, 12 men so far. And that's why we are seeing another unit of Lancers being brought up here. These guys quickly making their way over to the fight, knowing that they're going to need more reinforcements there at some point. Over on the breach as well, you can see the breach is just being held down completely. And the dwarves are in. Basically, the dwarves are going nowhere in this combat. Luckily, though, some missile fire has been brought up, obviously, to focus this down. They really need a lot more to do this because, yeah, halberds are just, impenetrable from the front. You can see a few dwarves trying their best to, like, edge their way forward. But, yeah, just being met by a brick wall with spikes on it. And even a dwarf at close distance cannot break through a brick with, or a wall with spikes on it. They definitely need that missile fire to come in. That's definitely what all these bardings should be really, really used for. It does seem like as well that the archers did manage to get cleared off the wall, which was nice. So that's a pretty good advantage of them. But we really need to see kind of another position. Oh, this is a pretty good position here by the attackers. Oh yeah, oh my god, I completely forgot about the island as well. Completely forgot about this island. Over here with the forces making their way in. Actually making their way in pretty easily. The cavalry, which dismounted, has been brought down. Yeah, the Elven cavalry got absolutely demolished here by the warlords of Rune and the other infantry. More reinforcements, stallion swordsmen being brought up. But again, I would assume that this blob would be more than capable of dealing with this. They're going to also set up some archers up on this wall, or up on this little hill right here, and volley in as the attackers come in closer and closer. Again, not a bad idea. Does seem like, though, the majority of these soldiers, which is not a bad idea here, marksmen of Dale, we've got some more arrowbolt axes over here. It really does seem like their main objective is to try and break through this part of the wall, which again is a really good idea, honestly. Doing this would really help them out. But obviously, you know, the defenders are holding firm. Again, we've got halberds here, and even the heavier dwarven warriors are struggling here. I mean, it's just, you know, halberds and choke points are very scary to deal with. And as the dwarves do, though, we're really trying to take this assault on head on. And that might come back to bite them. But my god, do they look beautiful doing it. They really do look absolutely spectacular. They really need some archers, and I imagine they would be able to get the archers. There you go, there's some marksmen of Dale there, but maybe I could even get some archers up on this wall, maybe, to volley down. I don't know, I feel like they really need to put more stock into dealing with these halberds, because they're just going to rack up so many kills, and as the attackers, you need all your assets. Because obviously every inch of the settlement you take, you're going to be losing way more than the defenders are, due to them having the advantage, you know, of terrain. It does seem like instead they are really trying to focus down the reinforcement units, which I don't think are going to be the scariest part of this settlement. Some more archers being brought down here as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see these archers being brought around like here, maybe just to kind of counter fire into the enemy units. And yeah, the dwarves are just struggling. Yeah, the dwarves have been beaten back here. Now the Loke Rim can just push forward if they want to. Yeah, all them dwarves breaking, and now the Loke Rim can just charge forward and put some pressure on that. They can definitely clear out this entire defensive position. Maybe get some archers up on these walls to fire down, take back these towers. Definitely a good position right now for the defenders. However, this right-hand side where the forces of Gondor have really put their pressure on has crumbled. The defense is no longer stationary, and we've got two waves as Gondorian soldiers exploit every single gap and just storm the settlement. As you just see hundreds of Gondorian men running into the city, exploiting every single position. And I'm not sure if I'm alone in saying this, but I feel like I never get sick of seeing the Gondorian infantry. This unit has been around in this mod since its creation, like 5 years ago. And it still looks spectacular. It really does. And they just got moving up, clearing out some more men. And especially, I love the support of the elves here as well. The elves are playing kind of much more of like a mixed roles. They help out throughout the settlement. And I like this kind of idea. Because the thing is, as soon as this position does break, it's going to allow, you know, a lot more outflanks. And you know, as soon as they break through here, then these guys are going to have to retreat. And then they can come this way. And then, you know, the soldiers are actually... Oh, you can actually see this. The defenders are already starting to pull back some infantry, realizing that this position is not going to stand, because quite quickly, obviously, now that unit's broken, we're going to get soldiers around the side. We're already getting units around the side. So big props to this Gondor player. I think he's playing a very smart game and just exploiting a lot of these broken positions that necessarily aren't as aren't as strong as we're used to seeing. I also as well noticed that there's actually a unit of cavalry being brought around here, obviously being repelled though. But I mean, this is not the scariest defense in the world. The Elven cavalry could definitely take on these Vargai lancers right here. The warlords of Rune are obviously a problem, and the Bane of the Steppe are a problem as well. But they only get one of these, so I think if they wanted to, they could definitely push their way up through here, and it does seem like that's exactly what they're going to do. I think definitely engaging with the cavalry first, so you would stop any of this cavalry charging here, would be a great idea. And they're also moving up with some guards of Inladris, a great unit to clear out cavalry. I'm just very scared that they're going to commit way too much, not commit way too much down here. They're going to commit their infantry up here and not support it. And the cavalry will just counter-charge them and charge them and charge them and just pull back and charge them and pull back and charge. And they'll just lose so many men as they do that. So it's something they're going to have to really be careful of. I feel like if you're not being patient, your cavalry can quite quickly get overrun and yeah, just do so much damage to your infantry that you just don't really stand a chance. The elves are being thrown into battle now. I believe they're obviously all out of ammunition. Yeah, the archers do go a lot faster with their ammunition now. And we're seeing more of the more of the line getting stuck in. More infantry being brought up as well. And there you go. Finally, the Vineland Guard throwing their way in. And it's basically now for the attackers, it's just a kind of an objective-based thing of just kind of like killing as many of their soldiers as they do pull back. Because you can see they're bringing back a lot of their infantry. We've got men coming from the island, which honestly I think they could have just really just killed this if they wanted to. Oh, it does seem like some archers have got a good volley off here. The Dwarven bowmen right here. The dwarves are going to get charged. Oh no, the poor Dwarven warriors. Look how much smaller they are as well, getting run into. And this unit of Dwarven archers does not really stand a chance. Luckily, there are reinforcements pretty close, but seemingly the Delian player is not paying attention here. And that'll be definitely remembered by the dwarves as they move forward. And saving their kin, repelling the cavalry charges back. And this is what I'm saying, like, this is the strength of cavalry. They could just do so much damage, 105 kills. And even the spearmen would not be able to really stop them. We got some of the pike set up. They just need to keep on pushing though. Definitely keeping a fast moving position here is great, because by the time you cleared out a lot of this, you're going to need to obviously be assaulting from multiple directions. So you're going to want to obviously have this fight going on whilst you're pushing up here, and you've got soldiers coming around here, and you're obviously pushing up here as well. You know, you're going to kind of want all of that happening at one point. Over in the center of the battlefield though, you can see that the defenders are starting to break. They are throwing everything they have at the enemy, though. This is the awesome Dane's Guard that we've got here for the dwarves. You can see the general right there as well. Just smashing in. He is going up against the Warlords of Rune, another great unit. Definitely a match for any of the dwarves. Some of the Tomb Wardens as well right there. Again, beautiful looking unit. I mean, I can't say enough about how great these units do look, because they do look spectacular. And the bodies are starting to pile up now. But the Locate Rim doing their job, they're holding the enemy at bay. Unfortunately though, it does seem like some of the Iron Guard have managed to get around. Luckily for the Warlords of Rune, it's not exactly a shock infantry, so it's not going to be able to, you know, rack up hundreds of kills on the charge. But it's going to be enough to hold them in place and really strangle this pocket of resistance. Oh, a beautiful cavalry charge as well right there. Knights of the Silver Swan slamming into this Locate Rim Archer unit. Does not stand a chance. These guys will eat them for breakfast. Sausages, egg, nice crispy bacon. That's exactly what they're going to be taking. They're only putting out though, obviously countercharging right here, and as the Lance unit comes in, and oh my god, that Lance unit got decimated on the charge. Did you see their bar go down? They lost so many horses there. The Knights of the Silver Swan earning their keep this day, up to 64 kills so far. Not bad at all. Really able to go in. However, they are going to buy some time for these archers to maybe get the hell out of here. Another cavalry unit coming in as well. Bane of the Steppe. We know how strong these guys are. And yeah, these archers are going to be getting out of here. So sacrificing that unit of cavalry. The Bane of the Steppe as well do good against the Knights of the Silver Swan. The Knights of the Silver Swan are classed as shock infantry, but they are still kind of like a nice hybrid between melee and shock. But the Bane of the Steppe are just pure melee infantry. Melee cavalry, and they'll do some really good damage in a prolonged engagement. They'll definitely beat them. You can see it's exactly what this kind of depleted unit of Knights of the Silver Swan doesn't really stand a chance now. And again, it's going to buy them enough time, but look at the legions entering the city. The artillery coming in, actually getting a really nice hit there onto some of the Gondor sword infantry. But yeah, that's a big amount of Gondorian swords, and even getting a unit up here as well. Oh, the archers are set up here as well. I'm wondering why these guys aren't volleying yet. But this looks very cool. It's such a shame that they can't make it so that like the archers could actually mount this as part of a wall. It is classed as a fourth wall, so I'm surprised that, you know, necessarily you can't. It would be very cool if you could mount these Maybe in the future we'll be able to, because that would be very cool, just being able to set up infantry kind of on this wall. Maybe you can. I don't think you can. Maybe. I don't know. It would be very cool, though, just to have the archers kind of looking over, much like they did. Oh, another cavalry charge going in. I don't know why these Loco Rims stopped, because the elves are now coming in and clearing that up, doing some serious damage. More cavalry comes in. Did the cavalry, yeah, the Bane of the Steppe got the hell out of there. They're killing a ton of the Knights of the Silver Swan. And, yeah, again, these guys, I think, are just biding some time as more charges just come flying in. I can't believe as well, this is crazy that this position is still holding. Like, this position has been fighting for about 20 minutes now. And it just goes to show that, like, you know, attacking stupidly into this position just will not net you anything, because the dwarves have thrown hundreds of men into this. 100 dwarves into this position, and, yeah, it's just basically all pointless. They would have been better just volleying of arrows. Even if you didn't have any, just wait. You know, no need to kind of give up your soldiers. Right now, though, the cavalry is going to be clearing up the majority of what we're seeing now in this outer layer. The outer layer has been lost. You can see the soldiers breaking through. It would be a bad idea to take this victory point away from them as well. You could obviously take that, and then that would give you a nice little morale boost, I believe. Yeah, they give you a battlefield-wide morale bonus, so not a bad idea to send a unit to go take this position and then obviously bring it back down, but it does seem like they are mainly focused on here. Also, it does seem like that these guys have broken their way around as well. Some archers being brought up, though, so not a bad unit to make their way over here to obviously just volley off and deal with these guards of him. That's just a very expensive unit indeed. Are these towers as well? I wonder if they are towers, or if the Gondor swords are just moving up. The cavalry going to be charging down, getting a perfect charge, sending the Gondorian warriors flying right there. Again, you just can't be braced against cavalry. You're just never gonna succeed. A lot of archers being brought up here, and here we go. The volleys, the sky is turning black as about 600-700 arrows just volley from a defensive position. The artillery making their way down as well. Oh my god, that one archer had his bow kind of drawn as he ran through the fire and the flames. These archers are going to be turning fire, and yeah, you're going to see a lot of missiles exchanging. Right now, though, the easterlings must be racking up a decent amount of kills, as both sides really exchange missile fire. Yeah, and lots of dead Gondorians as they try and make their way up here. Now we're getting eastlings obviously going to be blockading this stairway with some of their Loco Rim. And this is when you really need soldiers attacking from every single side, because more often than not, the defenders just cannot hold that long. You can see as well, you know, Banter power-wise, the attackers have kept that man advantage and actually improved it as well, which is something you never really see. Obviously, do keep in mind as well, oh my, the artillery doing serious damage. But what I was saying is, do keep in mind that they do have the elves on their side, so they would have spent way more money, and they have a fourth player as well. So, you know, the defenders are definitely up against it, and the number advantage isn't really as quantifiable because the elves are in there, and the elves, you already saw the difference, right? The elves have like 80 men in their units, whereas, you know, the eastlings have 140. So, you know, kind of the number advantage obviously is even more than it looks because of the elves. When it comes to money, it's a shame we can't get like a money counter as well, you know, like how many people have lost, like how much money people have lost and stuff like that. That'd be an interesting way of doing it. So Gondor are going to be waiting though for more soldiers to be brought up, and you know, there's the alliance is still strong in this army. There are still plenty of you know, soldiers from every single side. I don't really think that the Dwarven warriors should make their way around here. Don't exactly know where they're going. Like, this unit is basically pointless. Right now, they need to be focusing on taking the city center, you know, with everything they have. They need to be, you know, reinforcing this, charging their way forward, and really just trying to break through the defenses here. Did the guards of the just did get broken through here? Yeah, they did. They actually fell back, but they've got, you know, cavalry right here. The Knights of Silver Swan, you know, that's some more crispy bacon right there. They could just run their way down and rip through here. However, we do actually have some cavalry being brought up as well, some lancers. I mean, again, the Knights of Silver Swan will eat them up as well. Actually, quite a bit being committed over here for some reason. I think this is like a bait and switch. I don't think that these guys were envisioned for the attackers until probably just about now. And they're kind of already committed. Yeah, you can already see they're being committed. It's actually a really smart move right now. The, you know, Loco Rim archers get absorbed that, and then the lancers come flying in, which is not a bad idea. Both sides are going to be committing to this quite quickly. Again, if these guards of Inladris can get up here, that's obviously a great pike unit. Perfect for dealing with cavalry. They're going to be rushing their way up here as quickly as possible. trying their best to reinforce. Even got a unit of Logarim archers up here helping out as well. Yeah, I mean, this is a good play right now. These axes kind of need to be here a little bit quicker because they'd be a great unit to kind of help out. But even still, the Guardsmen and Landers is just very scary to deal with. Honestly, probably what needed to happen is one needed to commit and then one needed to go around maybe. But even still, yeah, these guys, these archers are just kind of pretty scary. And it's up to the archers to really break them. It does seem like the full assault is now really beginning as more Dalian swordsmen march their way through the settlement. With full force right now, just again trying to make their way up here. They are going to be faced with some of the clan's guard, but a hard unit to break through for sure. Over on the other side as well, the Gondorians have actually been repelled. A combined assault of halberds and, Logarim macemen. It's a bit too much, and that's why some more archers are being brought up here, probably to hammer this. Which is not surprising. And yeah, they definitely need more men to arrive here. Because, as you can see, like, this initial assault force has been decimated. There is just simply a lot of depleted Gondorian infantry. And not, a bunch of full strength. I have no idea why these guys are being brought around here. It's a real waste because they're just so out of the battle. They really, really are. Yeah, I have no idea why they're here. I just need to push everything in. Or maybe they've just been forgotten about, maybe. They really need to commit more and more soldiers to this inner layer. And just really try and break it. Oh, nice. A unit of the general, actually, for Gondor breaking through here. Able to get a nice little charge. Under the back of these guys, however, halberds have been brought up to reinforce. Again, nice little charge and then right into the back of these Warlords of Rune. Every Warlord of Rune you can kill is pretty huge, but they need to be very careful not to lose their general. If the king of Dor Amroth goes down, that'd not be good. A lot of them horses do get taken down. I assume he's not in here. But yeah, they really need to keep him alive because the Gondorians are hanging on by a thread, and losing that morale, you can already start to see the morale really starting to dwindle under all that missile fire. Oh my god, as well, so many of these axemen just going down to that volume. That's one of the disadvantages. Gondor don't really have like a heavily armored shock infantry. They kind of have much more of a medium tier, unit, and they just go down so fast with that, condensed arrow fire. And here we go, charging in against the brick wall of the Logarim shields. The artillery would be perfect at hitting this as well if they wanted to, a nice little artillery volley right there would do some serious damage. And they still have ammunition left. The artillery is focused down here right now. And I mean, again, the attackers are really clumping up, and these halberds are just winning the day. Doesn't seem like the attackers have really saved much in the way of ammunition, but they still have that massive man advantage. There isn't really that much in the way of ammunition. They do need to obviously continue to do assault down here as well. There's two more halberds here as well. Yeah, I'm a little bit curious about how they're going to be able to deal with this because the defenders seem like they have a very solid defense. Obviously, that number advantage not in their favor. It is starting to be dwindled, and I think the defenders, have a very good chance of claiming this one, honestly. And he says defenders never win. Defenders have won in our past. I mean, if they win this one, obviously, they might not. But it is definitely starting to shape up to look like they will be able to. The defenders have actually won the past 2 battles, which will be very, very interesting indeed. Warlords of Rune trying to make their way around this formation as well. If they can pull their way through. I mean, there's definitely a gap for them to do so. Just spam right-click that. Yeah, that's going to be very scary. And it's going to basically clear up this entire pocket of resistance, allowing a decent portion of the Eastling force to be brought back. I just don't really see how Gondor can break this inner layer. They've got a lot of infantry. I mean, they don't even have that much left. The dwarves turning up. There's a lot down here, but there's just no way for them to break these halberds one bit. Even with the shock infantry, I mean, maybe if there's a bit of a gap pulling up here, so maybe they could pull through here. But then obviously there's, infantry that can be sent. There's still plenty left inside this inner layer with over 2,000 men. Almost 3,000 men, honestly. And I think the Gondorians are almost spent. They're going to break very quickly. I think their general did end up breaking. And that's going to be it. I think that's going to... there's still 14 minutes left of this battle, but I'm just not seeing how the attackers can break through. The easterlings are doing a great defense, considering they were outnumbered by not only a player, but also, you know, also with extra money and stuff. It's pretty impressive to see them really push their way forward here. They've done a great job of defending the settlement. But also the attackers have done a great job as well. Really big props to the Gondorian player as well. I feel like he's played the best on the enemy team, at least from what I've seen. Obviously, there's plenty of stuff that I do end up missing in these battles. And right now, he's just running out of steam, unfortunately. There's only so many men that they can bring to bear. And there's just not enough archers, there's not enough artillery. I mean, they still have some archers left, but they need to kind of be in the fight right now. And what a good artillery here right there. That's probably a good 50 dwarves dead right now. How much ammunition left is on that artillery piece? It's a real shame as well. I mean, the thing is, the artillery doesn't actually show the amount of kills they get through burning the enemy alive. So, like, the artillery hit, it will get the initial kills, and then additional soldiers will also then die. So this artillery piece is 239 kills, in addition to however many soldiers that they've burnt alive. So this thing has racked up some good kills and has definitely paid for itself. But the attackers have been asking for it, honestly. I mean, look at this. They're so clumped up, and knowing the enemy have artillery. Oh, a bit of friendly fire there. They definitely need that. And unfortunately, that one does miss. But hey, they'll take any kills they can get to kind of rack up that kill count for sure. Okay, so I've skipped ahead a little bit in the battle because we were just fighting over 2 choke points, but it does seem like the defenders are now going on the offense, charging a unit of Bane of the Steppe, which came obviously from that Elven engagement, all the way down here and now charging out and just dealing with a large point of the enemy archers right now. And these archers still had ammunition as well, so it was a big kind of play in them to come in, but this Bane of the Steppe is just going to tear through them, already up to 120 kills right now. 130 kills, and there's really nothing left here to really stop them. There's another unit of cavalry as well, just eating these archers alive right now. The archers of Red Mountain being chopped apart. And I feel like at this point the attackers have really just given up. They've just kind of committed everything in here, just, you know, realizing that all hope is lost. Another artillery round. Oh, direct hit on their own friendly units, and that one unfortunately missing. Oh my god, there's a lot of friendly fire right now. Both these cavalry units is tearing them apart, and yeah, more infantry over here. The Gondorians are broken. That balance of power bar is looking horrific. We can watch kind of a little bit here and there, but I think I'll probably just skip ahead the majority of what remains of this battle, because yeah, there truly is not much left in the way of sustainability for the attackers. Cavalry being charged now as well. Bane of the Steppe is able to really rack up some serious kills, up to 200 kills on that unit. Over 200 kills on this one as well. And yeah, there's going to be so many of these routing units now just fleeing the battlefield. I imagine as well these Warlords of Ruin are going to have a field day killing these guys. Oh, it doesn't seem like there's a sunken boat right there, or really maybe that's a boat in the making. The cavalry are just killing all of these routing units. I imagine they'll go after the Dwarven General as well. There he is, Dane himself. About to get run through by cavalry. Doesn't really stand a chance against them. And we'll see these guys actually deciding to hold off there. But yeah, just a full-on retreat right now. The defenders have fully won this. Big props to them for holding the lines. Let's just skip ahead. Apparently there's 7 minutes left of this battle. I don't really know how there's 7 minutes left of this battle. Maybe there's like a unit out here that just does not break. Oh, it does seem like they couldn't get this unit inside as well. This unit would have been pretty useful as well. They could definitely have cleared up the defenders if they could have got some more soldiers in there. Right now, the Alliance of Honor and Glory is in full shatters, and the Forces of Evil have fully won. And as you can see, the noose has been tied right now. The halberds coming in from one side, and there is no escape here whatsoever. And there we have it. The dwarves actually held for a long time until they finally all broke up. But yeah, it was just always going to end at this point in the battle in a pretty decisive victory for the defenders. It says Pyrrhic, but I think that was more so more of a decisive victory, or a close victory, more so than a Pyrrhic, because they really got stuck in, and towards the end the allies were just completely broken. If you take a look at the kills, again, the majority of the kills are going to be coming on these archers and halberds. The halberds are really able to do some serious work here. 200 kills. There's not a single halberd unit here besides this one, which really let the side down. This one with over 692 kills. My god, that definitely helped turn the tide. Forces of Good, we have a couple hundred kills on the Vineland Guard right here. Down here a little bit further on the Elves. The Elves just really can get stuck in too much. 158 kills on here, nothing too special honestly. The Dwarves, again, a lot of their infantry just getting flattened by them halberds. And finally, Forces of Gondor, 144 kills, 150 kills, a couple hundred kills scattered throughout, but nothing too crazy there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Obviously subscribe if you haven't already for more Rise of Mordor content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.